guys like that intro with no sound? Successful intro we've had. Makeshift, man. All right, what's up, guys? Let us know if y'all can hear the mics. I know that the intro is silent, but it has to be that way right now with the current mic setup that we have. Leave us a comment. Let us know how the audio is. Welcome. This is not the rip, as you just saw in the intro, but just a regular episode with the Ramblin Raiders podcast, episode 170. Believe it or not, man, we made it. Just chugging along. And we're talking about the bowl game. Texas Tech is headed to the Texas Bowl. This is premium Texas Tech content with a few laughs and questionable takes, as always. Joined here by my PIC, the hot take specialist, man. Why don't you turn around and show him the back of the shirt, dude.
You can see it
all the way.
Over the chair.
The hot take specialist, Laney's Locks himself. What's up, man? How's it going?
Not much. Excited. Texas Tech is bowling back-to-back years.
That's big.
I was just wondering, do those RIP episodes count as pod episodes as well? Or those are separate?
Those, no, hey, actually, you can only see the RIP if you're subscribed or you watch our YouTube channel. So we intentionally do not put the RIP episodes on, and actually I'm way behind because I hate editing, but our regular recaps that we've been doing for the football games, those are on Spotify, those are on Apple Pod. However, the RIP episodes, which really I think is where you get your money's worth, you gotta be subscribed to our YouTube channel. So,
and you have to pay for that.
Well, no, you don't have to pay for it, but you can get your
it's free.
Your hypothetical money's worth, figurative money's worth on those eps. But yeah, man, I'm excited too. 2 years in a row after the dark ages that we had, it feels good to be going bowling twice over now. Real quick, guys, just shout out. We're part of the Guns Up Nation network. We're on all social medias, Facebook. Our page is Ramblin Raiders Podcast. Instagram at Ramblin Raiders, Twitter at Ramblin Raiders. I'm pretty sure our TikTok is at Ramblin Raiders. And I actually did take the first step in securing a new phone to get the TikTok app. I went to the Verizon store. The game's changed.
Did you go 13 Pro Max?
Well, no. First off, the game's changed since that's how old this phone is. Since I went and bought an iPhone. You can't even use like upgrades and stuff anymore. You have to just buy it straight up.
No, that's not true.
According to the guy at the Verizon store, upgrades are no longer a thing. He said it's not been that way for a while now.
I mean, you can lease them though. You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, you get put on like a monthly contract, but like used to, you could just get an upgrade.
You finance it.
Basically. You could, So it's I don't know, man. I mean, Lane, this guy's over here. He loses his phone like once or twice a week. So
not since I got the Pro 13 Max.
I'm going for a Pro 14. So it's not a Max.
Pro Max,
Pro
double
14.
Camera, best quality there is.
I'm going Pro 14, 3 cameras, the Triclops. You just can't beat it. I'm really excited to get it. All that to be said, Ramblin Raiders TikTok, we're going to start putting that in use. Also, if you like to listen to these episodes, they're going to be on Apple Pod. They're going to be on Spotify or any of the podcasting platforms that you like to enjoy to listen to your podcasting content. So make sure you check that out. And then most importantly, drop us a sub on this YouTube channel, guys. Hit that bell. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. If you like our back and forth here talking about, a little bit of everything, but mainly Texas Tech sports. And it goes a long way. We appreciate that. We have some new merch just in time for the bowl season for my next point on here, which is the second Ramblin Raiders tailgate that's going to take place coming up on December 28th for the matchup Texas Tech versus Ole Miss. What better time to rock your Ramblin Raiders merch than at the Ramblin Raiders tailgate?
To the second annual tailgate that's going to be next level compared to the first annual tailgate. We got our stuff together now.
Well, elaborate on that a little bit, because I want everyone to know the first one was a smashing success. This go around, like we're a little bit better.
We're gonna have tents. We're gonna have TVs. We're gonna have a great bar set up. We're hopefully gonna have some food. People are gonna be cooking food as well.
Food
I believe.
Will be provided.
So yeah, y'all be ready to get some wristbands for that tailgate. It's gonna be a great time, and rock your new Ramblin Raiders merch.
So ramblinraiders.com, that's our website. We have our write-ups on there. 10% of our merch sales are going to go to a charity of the month. We're going to put out a poll or kind of just a general question to let our followers on Twitter answer that. 10% is either going to go to the Matador Club, our Ramblin Raiders athletes, or it's going to go to like I said, a local Lubbock charity. So y'all stay in tune with that. Reading the chat, y'all go ahead and get the chat going. We're going to be checking that temporarily throughout this live show. Program is trending up. Imagine how worried. Yeah. No, you can't lease them. Word for Verizon. Worked last year. Dude, he's right. Yes, I'm telling you.
You have to finance them. I meant finance, not lease.
He meant finance. But I'll tell you this. I did not know that, man. I've been a Verizon, client or customer for a long time, and the game's changed since I got. I mean, this might be like a 10 or a 9.
It doesn't have a home button, so that's good.
That's an old school, an antique model right there. So I took that next step, though. I'm finally glad after all the empty promises I made, I went to the Verizon store. So new merch, check that out in our shop. Second, really quick, last plug before we talk about the Texas Bowl matchup. Ramblin Raiders merch. We have our hoodies, our polos, T-shirts. The hats are next level. You will not find better
just in time
in the game.
For bowl season, but also just in time for Christmas. So if you're looking to get a special Christmas gift, we know all the people out there want some Ramblin Raiders merch under their Christmas tree.
That's right. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're going to miss out, because all of our subscribers are going to get a chance. If you can prove you're subscribed to us, they're going to have a chance at winning some free merch and or a free wristband to the Ramblin Raiders tailgate. Whichever one is works for you. If you're not going to be able to make it to the game, then we'll get you merch. Or if you just want the merch, we'll do that for you. But we're going to pick 3 to 5 lucky winners who are subscribed to our YouTube channel. So that's a great way to get some handouts during the holiday season right now. Okay, man, let's get down to business here. Texas Tech will play Ole Miss. The Rebs are they the Land Sharks now? The Rebel Sharks?
The Rebel Land Sharks.
The Rebel Sharks. They're going to play them in the Tax Act.
Fighting Preppies.
The Fighting Preppies. Get your bow tie straightened up and your pleats. Make sure your pleats are ironed and got your plaid button down tucked in. We're playing the equivalent to like a TCU. I want to say Baylor, but not. I mean TCU Baylor-esque in the SEC. The Preppies. That's a good way to put it. Of Ole Miss in the Tax Act Texas Bowl.
That's right.
In Houston at NRG Lane. Instant reaction.
I'm pumped because we get to have a tailgate. I know a lot of people are kind of pissed off. We got snubbed out of the Cheez-It Bowl. We're going to get into this a lot more, but my first original take of it is we're comparing oranges to apples, in my opinion. It just doesn't. It's not that different to me. We're a 7-5 team. We're finished 4th in the Big 12, and it's a great finish for Texas Tech. Yeah. We're trending in the right direction. No disrespect there, but we're a 7-5 team going to a pretty decent bowl game.
What you're saying is Texas Tech finished, though. They finished.
They finished.
Texas Tech finished. They finished 4th. I think so. Basically, we're comparing Cheez-Its and taxes. I mean,
I'd rather have Cheez-Its, to be honest. But hey, we all got to pay our taxes, right?
Exactly. So, kind of on the same note, or same vibe as Lane with this, man. Selfishly, I wanted the Texas Bowl all along. I would have obviously been happy with the Cheez-It Bowl, just like I would have been happy with the Alamo Texas Bowl. They were all the 3 that we discussed on the last recap were the ones that we were like, any of them are great bowl games. Selfishly, I wanted the Texas Bowl.
We wanted to provide a badass tailgate for the fans
because of the experience. I think it's going to be an amazing experience for a lot of Texas Tech fans that are going to be able to travel to the game. That's a huge perk in playing in the Texas Bowl. And also, it's a great opportunity for Tech to play a quality opponent in front of a huge crowd and keep this momentum going at the end of the season. I mean, okay, well, and we'll get into that in a second.
I was about to say, we were going to talk pre-pod about it's a little
Miss,
bit
FSU,
We get a little bit of revenge on Ole Miss for who's been, kicking our ass lately.
That's a good point. I don't know if y'all knew this.
2009 and 2016 when we played them?
Yeah, so Texas
both
Tech,
ass whooping.
Texas Tech is 0-3 all time against Ole Miss in bowl games.
0-3? 4. The first one, 2 Independence Bowls?
2 Independence Bowls.
Oh,
one in the 80s,
Cotton
one in the
Bowl,
90s,
and then
Cotton
one
Bowl.
in the neutral site game. Yeah.
And then the neutral site game. But besides the Ole Miss Slayer B.J. Simons and then Kingsbury, there the early 2000s with Leach, we got them twice back to back. But yeah, man, I mean they've had our number these last couple, more recently than
the last 2 times we've played them, they've had our number. That's for sure.
Yeah, and their fans sure have been chirping that they don't want to beat up on Texas Tech again. So I think it's a great opportunity to enact that revenge on a team that has had like we said, has really been, putting it to you the last couple times that y'all played.
Yeah, and another thing for me is just we get a chance to play a better conference. It's all about these conference matchups, and I know individually you want the best matchup for your team, which I still think we're getting a great matchup in Ole Miss, but we get to play an SEC West team. There's all the talk going on right now about OU and Texas leaving for the SEC. Well, guess what? We beat Texas. We beat OU. We beat Mississippi State last year. This is yet another chance to throw it in their face and be like, look, now we beat Ole Miss, SEC West, get bent.
To really, you really want to bury them deep, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this gives us ultimate bragging rights, whereas Florida State would have been cool, but we'll talk about that here in a sec. I want to hop over to the chat real quick. Matt says, I hope our fans stop complaining about the Cheez-It Bowl. That mentality will cost us to come out not focused for the Ole Miss game, which is a formidable opponent. I'm with you, Matt, and you know what? We'll just piggyback on that. Again, y'all love seeing some commentary in the chat, so keep that going. But yeah, to piggyback on that, let's just kind of talk about it. There was a contingency of fans that were upset that Texas Tech didn't get the Cheez-It Bowl. Oklahoma was selected as the 7th best team in the Big 12 to play FSU. And we can even dive into the real loser of bowl season. That's Baylor. Baylor got it worse than anybody, but OU was passed. Look, fans, understandably so, to an extent. I get it. I understand why fans were, they were upset at the fact that Tech was passed up for a bigger brand name team in OU to fill that. They felt slighted. Fans felt slighted. They felt that we were cheapened, that the players didn't, that they had earned the right, as dumb as it sounds, to play in the Cheez-It Bowl. They had earned the right to play in the Cheez-It Bowl. And look, I'm not going to dog those fans. I'll say I get it. I understand on principle why you're upset. I mean, we're better than Oklahoma. We beat them in the head-to-head. We had a better overall record. If these bowls were actually selected by, the first best team in the Big 12 that's not in a New Year's Six is going to go here. Boom, that's that. The second best team that's not in a New Year's Six is going to go here. Then we'd be playing in the Cheez-It Bowl. That's plain and simple. We're better than Oklahoma. I get that. At the same time, I guess the argument that we're going to kind of make is that I don't really think there's that big of a difference, man. And to Matt's point, look, sure, you can. I mean, it is what it is. I'm kind of there with him on. Let's move on, man. I mean, this is again a great opportunity to really have a foothold with Houston recruiting, get some good exposure on the recruiting trail here in Houston, which is a hot market for talent when it comes to football. It's a good chance to play in front of a sold-out Texas Tech, not sold, well, it'll be split up, but in front of a large Texas Tech cohort, large Texas Tech, contingency here. And it's just, there's a lot of pros that come with the Texas Bowl. At the end of the day, there really isn't that big of a difference in the two, Lane.
Yeah, I agree. I think Florida State is probably the hotter team, obviously, than Ole Miss. They've lost, their last 3 games? 3 or 4 games?
On a 3-game slide, yeah.
So, the Florida State's the hotter team. They're ranked. But, Ole Miss has been in and out of the top 25 all year. They've had some big wins earlier in the season, beat Kentucky, I believe, when they were ranked. So, we're still getting a quality opponent. Yeah, the Cheez-It Bowl would have been great. Again, it's apples to oranges at this point. Let's start looking forward to what we have. We're playing the better conference, in my opinion. I love a chance to beat up on the SEC, like I've already touched on. We're 7-5. We're playing in a decent bowl game. If we were 7-5 playing in the Cheez-It Bowl, solid bowl game as well. So, yeah. I mean,
It's just, I guess our whole thing is that we weren't that upset about it because there's not a huge discrepancy between these two.
I understand, with Florida State being ranked, having a chance to beat a ranked opponent, end on that note would have been great. But you're looking at being a 7-point dog compared to a 4-point dog. I mean, I think Ole Miss is probably just as good as Florida State. I mean, Florida State's slightly the edge, but
slightly better, yeah.
Ole Miss is just as good.
So I will say on the last note for our pro, Cheez-It Bowl sympathizers out there, who really wanted that one. According to Adrian Fry, Don Williams put out a tweet, and again, this is one player. I'm not going to pretend to speculate on. I mean, he pretty much said a lot of the players. He said, and I quote, like the whole team, besides the guys from Florida, really wanted to play in Orlando so that they could like experience Disney World and go to Florida for the first time.
You're going to play a bowl game, not go to Disney World, right?
Well, that I mean, you said it. Yeah, that's part of it.
Might have got our ass kicked.
But it's like, I mean, you go to Florida. For him, he said it was the first time he would have ever been to Florida. That's cool. That's awesome. You know, I get that for you. And from a fan's perspective, I can see how that's frustrating as well. Again, that's one guy's take. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what the whole team is feeling, this and that. You got guys from the Houston area. I don't know. But again, I sympathize in that regard. Let's talk about, you know, kind of why, again, with that said, like, I don't think the Cheez-It Bowl is that much better than the Texas Bowl. And I'd argue that the Texas Bowl really provides kind of some more pros even than what the Cheez-It Bowl does. For one, the Texas Bowl is a higher payout, which is relevant. I see some of these comments on Twitter. I'm going to address that right now. You know, saying, oh, it's not relevant because all the money gets divvied up in one Big 12 pot, right? That's fine. But when you're, you know, we're sitting here talking about this, the subjective nature of which bowl is better than this bowl and has more prestige and yada, yada. What's a better indicator than payout?
Yeah, nothing really. And then
nothing.
also,
Yeah,
so if you get the Cheez-It Bowl, it's a less payout. So why is the Cheez-It Bowl a better bowl? I mean, it makes no sense.
So if people say it's irrelevant as far as all the money goes, I think if you're in the context of what, you know, which bowl game is better, and everyone's saying the Cheez-It Bowl is so much better than the Texas Bowl.
How?
The Texas Bowl pays out $300,000 more than the Cheez-It Bowl does. So that's a factor to if you're going to look at bowl quality and assessing these bowl games. Something we've already touched on, Lane, recruiting in the Houston area. It's going to give us an edge. I know the coaching staff's excited about that factor in this bowl game. Easy access for fans. And this is a big deal. I mean, I really believe that in these bowl games, and Lane, we went to the LSU Tech game, which, by the way, we would have been playing they were 8-3 because one of their games
they missed a game due to
canceled.
hurricane.
Yeah, it got canceled because of inclement weather, aka hurricane season. But that LSU team with Leonard Fournette should have been 9-3, probably better than the FSU team that we would have been looking at playing in the Cheez-It Bowl this year.
And we got rolled.
Played them in the Texas Bowl, and that was a great matchup against a great SEC team. So again, it at the end of the day, it's really not that big a difference. But fans being able to travel, when we were there, dude, that stadium,
it was awesome.
That atmosphere was electric, dude. It was rocking with both LSU and Tech fans, but there was a ton of Texas Tech fans there to show out for their team. I think that's a big factor. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's some players that are really pumped. Not saying that Tech fans don't travel and would have had a good showing in Orlando. The bottom line is that it wouldn't have been as good of a showing as it's going to be in
There's
Houston.
more Texas Tech fans in the state of Texas
So
that are willing to go to Houston rather than go to Florida.
So you're looking at a better atmosphere as far as the crowd's concerned. I also saw someone saying that apparently wherever they play the Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando, like that stadium, the parking's garbage, the stadium's not as nice. So, you got that to consider.
You got a Ramblin Raiders tailgate to go to.
Ramblin Raiders tailgate, that's going to elevate your experience that much more. And then I'm going to get to the chat here in just a second. Chance to get, and we talk about that. Chance to get revenge on a team that has owned you in bowl games.
Wow.
80s, 90s.
We're 0-3.
In early 2000s. For 3 decades, they've been kicking our ass in bowl games. It's our time to get revenge on the Rebel Sharks. Okay.
The Preppies.
Matt says I'd rather beat an SEC team more catch to beat more.
Yeah, I mean,
to beat down
that's
the
another
SEC.
thing. The Florida State is a ranked, they're a hot team. I'm not saying they're bad, but, Ole Miss has played better quality opponents. I mean, Florida State has lost to, in my opinion, not so good Wake Forest team. They lost to a Clemson team who's highly ranked, highly touted. I don't think they're that good. I don't think the ACC is that good of a conference is what I'm getting at. The SEC is a much better conference. And so from that standpoint, Ole Miss with one loss, to Florida State's 9-3 record, I mean, Ole Miss is arguably the better team.
I think they're pretty – I would give it to Florida State, but I think it's very close.
Yeah.
It's a close edge. Florida State's best win is against LSU, first game of the year. It was very close.
And against
toss-up game.
LSU team who got better as the season went along. I mean, that was their first game of the season. They learned a lot from that game, and they got better as the season went forward.
I want to give a shout-out real quick on here, Lane, so we'll keep going. To our boy over at Tortilla and Takes, Albie Shore, he brought up a good point that I'm going to highlight on here. Setch Catch 69 site, new a dating for all tastes and ages. Oh, we got a plug, man.
Are we getting so big that we have bots in our chat now?
We're getting sexted. We're getting sexted by a bot in the chat. I'd rather have a home bowl game in Texas than go on the road to Orlando. And a lot of fans feel that way. So, Joe, we miss you, man. Can't wait to have you on the next Rip Ed, dude. Glad that you're getting in on this. Only reason I was pulling for Cheez-It was because I wanted to see them pour Cheez-Its on Joey. That's fair. Now, Mia brings up a good point.
That's fun.
The Cheez-It bath is kind of iconic. I mean, what are they going to bathe them in now? Like tax receipts? Is that how they do it at the Tax Act Bowl?
Why not? Or like they offer to just pay Joey's taxes.
Game was over by the time we walked in.
He's talking about that LSU game.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was...
it was a brutal game.
It was... Well, actually, I mean, it was...
Actually, it was close till half.
I don't want to get into the specifics here and get in an argument with our boy Joe, but it was a good game
until the fourth
quarter, and then they blew us out of the water.
And then Leonard Fournette got a little out of control.
Yeah. Matt says, I also want to get 8 wins, which is going to give us good momentum. When OU loses, they're going to end with a losing record. Yeah, I mean, I think Tech would have had a decent shot at both teams. I think we have probably a better shot at beating Ole Miss because Florida State is a little bit better. I do want to emphasize Lane's point real quick with the ACC being a mid-conference. I'm not a big believer in the ACC. Clemson's not the Clemson of normal. Clemson of the last couple years. Florida State's best win, I said, arguably against the LSU. They lost to an NC State team that Tech lost to by, they lost to him by 2.
With our third-string quarterback.
Third-string quarterback in that one. They lost to Clemson by, I think, 6 or 7, and they lost to a 7-5 Wake Forest team. So, is Florida State ranked higher? Sure. Would I give them the edge over Ole Miss? Sure. Do I think that the marketability between these two games and the I guess the draw that you're going to get playing Ole Miss versus playing Florida State is like a huge difference? No, I think it's relatively the same.
Yeah, I agree. And so, I mean, we're pumped for the Texas Bowl, to say the least. You had a shout-out you wanted to give?
Yeah, I'm a Mr. _
Tortilla and Takes.
Tortilla and Takes.
I'll be sure.
Well, he brought up a good point on here. I forgot what he said. I think it's pretty much along the same line. Yada, yada. Yeah. Well, he said, another good point. Give me the bowl that actually wants us there. True that, dude. If the Cheez-It Bowl wants to pass us up for the 7th best team in the Big 12, forget about it, man. I mean,
watch them go get beat by the – what'll be great is if OU goes in there and beats Florida State somehow – and then we take care of business at Ole Miss. I mean, I'm a Big 12 fan. I want to see the Big 12 do well, and that'll be a shocker that, we'll do well for the Big 12, even though OU's leaving, I guess. But
dude, where is – oh, here it is. Hold up. Sorry about that.
You got to have your tweets pulled up, man.
Man, this Twitter stuff's difficult. Brian McMahon, Hottie Toddy versus Chimmy Marg. Who wins? That's – I'll be perfectly honest, man. What up? First off, shout out to McMahon.
Aren't very good, in my opinion.
Hope you're doing well, brother. You better come through to that Ramblin Raiders tailgate, or else I'm gonna be very disappointed. I don't think I've had a Hottie Toddy.
They're hot.
What?
It's honestly like it's supposed to, like, I've been told they're good to, like, when you're sick. Like, you drink a Hottie Toddy, it's supposed to make you feel better or something.
Sounds kind of lame.
Yeah, it's not. I would rather go for a Chimmy's. In my opinion, a Chimmy's cucumber Chilton will do the trick much better than a Hottie Toddy.
You can't beat.
But I'm a simple man.
Nothing beats a Chilton, man.
Also, I'm not like those preppies out there,
let's talk
man.
About this.
In
whitewashed jeans and boots with a collared shirt versus
a suit and a tie,
a tucked-in suit with a bow tie and some of those suspenders.
What would you rather be watching the game in? I'd take my boots and jeans.
I'm taking my whitewash every day of the week, man. Nobody wants to watch a college football game in a bow tie. Give me a break and shake those little. I hope our cousin Abby gets to see this at some point. She's a diehard Ole Miss fan. Those little pom-poms, dude. No. That's not right. Okay, here's what it was, man. Shout out to Albie. He said, in the landscape of bowls, both of these are roughly the same. Playing Ole Miss will be just as evenly profiled as, that's what I was trying to think of, evenly profiled as playing Florida State would have been. Agreed. I mean, the disparity is very, very.
It's razor thin.
It's minuscule, man. It's very small, and it's not going to make that big of a difference. Just be happy you're not playing, Matt says this, in your bowl game at your rival stadium against a non-Power 5 team. Looking at you, Baylor. Real quick, we were going to talk about that. I mean,
They're playing Air
You look at
Force.
Texas Tech, Baylor, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma. And I don't know if OSU and Baylor were flipped there, but whatever. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th best teams in the Big 12.
I think OSU did finish above Baylor
They
because
did.
they had the head-to-head.
So Baylor easily got the worst draw out of
Yes.
everybody. They got to play in the Armed Forces Bowl against Air Force. I mean, you're asking for their fans to actively cheer against the U.S. military. Like
That's just disrespectful to do.
how do you do that? And you have to do it in your rival stadium. That blows.
Where's that game played?
At TCU.
Oh, really?
Amon
Okay.
G. Carter.
So, yeah, interesting.
Okay, so real quick, and then we'll move on, guys. This is going to be a shorter ep tonight. At the end of the day, there isn't a major significance as far as I guess the last kind of point here, the future trajectory of your program. There's not going to be a significant difference that is affected by Tech winning the Texas Bowl versus Tech winning the Cheez-It Bowl, man. I mean, you win the Texas Bowl, you win the Cheez-It Bowl, you end on a high note, 8-5, you beat Ole Miss or you beat Florida State. Your trajectory is going to stay the same.
Yeah.
It's not going to have major implications down the road on the future success of Texas Tech.
Arguably, I'd say Ole Miss is more in a kind of a stability standpoint than Florida State. Or I think Ole Miss is going to be, right there. More so than Florida State will be in
we've driven
the years
the point
to come.
home more than anyone ever could have that it's really not that big a deal.
No, yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean,
that Tech is playing
whatever.
in the Texas Bowl versus the Cheez-It Bowl. Look, if y'all want to boycott Cheez-Its, I don't like Cheez-Its. I never liked them anyways.
White cheddar. I don't know if I can boycott those.
I'm a real one. Lane and my wife actually is the white cheddar fan. Matt is right. Real quick, I'm going through the chat before we talk about Smitty Johns. ACC is mid. They're so mid, dude. Like, I mean, Florida State would have been cool. Like, Clemson's fine. But the rest of that conference is really not that great, man. With the way they finished. TCU Stadium, ouch. All right, guys, let's see. McMahon says, in all due respect, the Cheez-It Bowl is hand over foot better than the Cheese Nip Bowl. Well, we can't really argue with that. The Cheese Nip Bowl, but I could make the argument that the Cheese Nip Bowl just doesn't get the respect it deserves. Cheese Nips don't get the respect they deserve. HEB, stand up. Start buying cheese nips. Do not buy Cheez-Its. That's how we feel. If they want to take the 7th best team in the Big 12 over us, that's fine. We don't have to eat their subpar.
Screw them.
We don't have to eat their subpar product anymore, and we won't moving forward. Donovan Smith, dude. Smitty Johns, the savior against UT, the savior against U of H, has entered the transfer portal, not to our surprise. I know we talked about it a few weeks back whenever we were kind of giving our staff a little bit of some grief about rotating quarterbacks, playing too many guys, this and that. And it actually, they really got Donovan Smith in what's that guy's name for the Saints? Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
The dude who's like a hybrid.
Yeah, just the Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife. So
yeah,
they finally got him in a role that was just amazing to have this year on
That's
our
not
team.
what he wants, though.
But yeah, it's not. He wants more substantial.
He wants to be a starting QB
in concrete playing time. So first thing I want to say is like, dude, good luck to wherever you're going. Like, much respect, man. I mean, when his number was called, he's got a legacy at Texas Tech. He won a lot of big games here.
Yeah, he did. He won a huge bowl game against Mississippi State to beat Mike Leach and break the curse.
I mean,
we can't thank him enough for that.
Yeah. He's goated. Honestly, I won't give guys like Kevin McCullough and certain others like Red Raider for Life status. I will give Smitty Johns Red Raider for Life status solely because he broke the Mike Leach curse.
He broke the Mike Leach curse, so that right there set our program
set us up
forward, and it set us going on the right trajectory. I mean, some can argue he actually, and not Joey, Donovan Smith actually put this program back on track.
He saved us
after the dark years.
He saved us after the dark times. He also, let's not forget, on my bachelor party in Scottsdale, he also delivered
thrilling Garibay 62-yard kick.
He didn't hit the game winner, but he got us in a position to beat Iowa State for the first time in a long time, sending the boys into euphoria in Scottsdale.
He never lost. Did he ever lose an OT game?
Hell no.
No.
Sending Texas Tech into the stratosphere and into and by that I mean a bowl game. And then this year, he beat U of H, he beat UT. I know in that starting role he had some bad games and some kind of tough spots, but ultimately I wish the young man all the success in the world. I think he's going to go. People are speculating that maybe La Tech because of the ties with Sonny Cumbie. Lane brought up a good point earlier.
I think he probably wants to go somewhere maybe better than that if he can, but what do I know?
He thinks he's better than that. He thinks he's better than that, and I don't blame him, man.
He's got some big wins. I mean, in the right offense, I think he could be really successful. Unfortunately for him, I just don't think this offense suits, doesn't put him in the best position, doesn't put us in the best position, having him starting at quarterback. So, unfortunately, that's not going to work out. But, yeah, he provided Texas Tech fans with a lot of great wins, a lot of great memories.
A lot of good memories. Wedding Magic.
With Joe Pett.
If he's still in here. I mean, we can thank Donovan Smith for that. So, really excited. I do want to say that, portal season is in full swing right now and is really moving. Donovan Smith wasn't unexpected at all.
No.
I mean, the dude, you go
I
from
didn't
the
know.
starter.
I guess now's the time to do it before the bowls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, by the way, we were talking about in the Ramblin Raiders group chat earlier. People were wondering if he could play in the bowl game. No, he won't.
And why would it would make zero sense for Joey McGuire to play him in a bowl game, really, and for him to play in a bowl game.
I get how people are asking the question. I would have to look it up, but he will not be playing in the bowl game. We'll tell you that. And if he does, it just means Joey McGuire is actually the best coach of all time. That he got him to want to. I think it's up to the coach. It's actually the coach's decision, but it just makes sense that they're not going to play. But yeah, man, I mean, this is going to be the first of I don't want to say many, but be ready. Be on the lookout. I know people are speculating on, and I hate to do that because I don't want to throw someone's name out there that isn't actually going to be in the portal. I have a couple guys in mind that I think could enter, maybe based on sort of on the offensive end, at least on the productivity they saw this year. I won't throw any names out there. I'll just do that.
I mean, that's just too much.
And then if it does end up going that way, I'll bring it back later on and say I told you so, even though I never even gave out a definitive answer. But just be ready, man. There's a lot of big names. Clemson's, or is it Syracuse? I think Clemson's one of their quarterbacks hit the portal. The Michigan guy hit the portal.
Yeah.
This
is the college football world we live in.
QBs are flocking to the portal right now. Another big one, Oklahoma State, dude. He's got to have a doctorate by now. Sanders.
How does he have eligibility
Colonel
left?
Sanders is in the portal right now.
How does he have eligibility left?
Nobody knows, but it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, there's going to be some more names I think that hit the portal inevitably, but look for Joey McGuire to go on the offensive and utilize
pull
the portal.
somebody.
Go pull some people. With Donovan Smith leaving, I will say it leaves us in a bit of an interesting situation with our QB room. Tyler Shuck kind of after that OU
has
game,
not really given a definitive answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know what to make of it.
I didn't either. I kind of lean towards. I think he's either going to declare for the draft or he's going to move. Seemed like he was ready to move on.
That's what I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if he declared for the draft. And I would probably think that's the right move after the last couple games he's had. I think he's proved himself.
And he's been around the scene for a long time.
Yeah.
I will say the guy I do not want to lose, man. And if it happens, I'll be very distraught and upset.
You'll have your own personal pod and come here and just throw a fit.
It's Air Morton, man. I don't know. Again, I know everyone's throwing names around stuff. I haven't seen that. Again, I'm not gonna I'm just putting it out there into the universe that would be to me. A really bad thing for this program. If
that's just a real bad deal for you,
man. If Aaron Morton hits the portal, I think there were some Twitter accounts kind of speculating on that, saying they wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised, I'll tell you that, and I think that it would be a huge.
Unless he knows something that we don't.
Yeah, I think it would be a loss for this offense, for this offensive staff. I really, really would like to see Baron Morton continue to play football for Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I agree.
Smitty Johns, we love you, though. Thanks for the good memories, man. Good luck to you wherever you so chooseth on your next football destination.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. We did a 33-minute pod.
Pretty quick. Not much to talk about except for the Cheez-It Bowl and the Texas Bowl are pretty similar.
Brian McMahon says, y'all should do a fantasy draft of realistic tech tech recipients out of the portal.
Recipients, yeah. See who we can
should.
get.
I'll tell you this: I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna do some research and.
I'm gonna have to really cut into my day job and really get some research done. But I'll do it for you and I'll do it for the listeners because that's the dedication that you get on the Ramblin Raiders live show and the Ramblin Raiders podcast. Okay, man. With that. Any other questions? Get them in now.
I'll say this. Y'all stay tuned for Ramblin Raider tailgate at the Texas Bowl news. We should be announcing wristbands and all that good stuff.
We're gonna have promo vid right.
We're gonna have tents. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have tables. We're gonna have TVs. I guess there'll be other bowl games on before that one that night, so we'll be able to watch some other games while we tailgate. Get your tickets now. I heard tickets are going fast.
Yep.
Be ready to tailgate with the Ramblin Raiders. Should be one hell of a party on a Wednesday night.
It is, man. No one's gonna make it to work on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be ready. Also, man, I'm just going to say it right now. Like, if you like The Dark Knight, I think you're going to really want to follow the Ramblin' Raiders socials because we got a little theme thing coming your way. Just know, like, the darkest is always, or the night is always darkest before the dawn, man.
That's right. And
Harvey
I think
Dent said that once.
one last point from Matt. He brings up kind of a pretty good point here. You got to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster due to people getting injured.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there. I mean, it's always good to have other options in case guys go down. We saw so many quarterbacks in the Big 12 go down. So you're definitely not wrong there. Hopefully we can pick up some guys in the portal and hold on to some of them. It's just so hard to hold on to QBs nowadays.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. All right, guys, we're going to cue it up. Another quick thing here, man. It's not who we are underneath, but what we do that defines us. Rachel Dawes. Yeah.
Nice, man.
And then last but not least, man, and this will be Lane's favorite, the Joker cannot win.
He cannot win, and that's Ole Miss.
Lane Kiffin's the Joker. Lane,
we out.